all-time shows ever. Plus, who had the most petty Grammy tweet this year? And the host of Making Manhattan and the All with Malice here, Melvin Taylor II! And it's all happening right now on What a Delight with Chelsea White!
It's so sweet and it's such a lovely treat. Your favorite show to watch at night. You are watching What a Delight with Chelsea White. Meow, meow, meow,
You guys, it's all happening. Welcome to What a Delight with Chelsea White. What a delightful week. What a delightful audience. What a delightful camera move on Cam 2.
Wow.
Wait, we'll get to it. I know Will was about to introduce himself. Hold on, I have more important breaking news. I just bought this shirt on Poshmark for $4.
Yeah.
Wow. 21 shirt from 6 years ago that someone stole from my laundry room.
Wow.
So I reclaimed it. And I bought something made me think of it, so I bought it on Poshmark. Actually, Will, get this on camera too. And look, it says Meowzilla. Okay, that's all. Thank you. You guys, the one and only DJ Duck and Demon.
Oh.
Once again,
Chelsea, how are you? I feel like I'm looking a little clearer right now. There's something with the cameras.
It seems like something has changed. Something has evolved.
Did we upgrade? We might have camera 2 and my own camera being full HD now, which is absolutely delightful.
What a delight.
Also, I have a question about your shirt.
Please. Ask me at AMA.
So hold on. We'll get the Reddit thread going. No.
Oh my
so
God,
you bought what?
Literally, wait, turn around.
What?
It doesn't matter to anyone at home, but there's a plane right by LaGuardia, but it doesn't look like a UFO. It looks like it's flying really low.
This is great content because you can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it at home. Will's trying to get it. Will's trying to get it.
Why, yes, it does. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I know. It just like really sincerely
Stop trying to distract from the question about your shirt.
Okay, AMA.
So you owned this shirt, and then you found it at a thrift store and bought it back? Like, is it the same exact shirt, or it's the pattern?
Imagine if it was the same one that traveled.
That's what I thought. I thought
like,
you lost it, someone
Homeward
sold it,
Bound,
and then you
so-
bought it again.
Hold on, I was sick 2 weeks ago, and it's still finishing up. The audience remembers. I like snotted all over myself.
Great.
No, it's like, I had this shirt. One of my beloved cat shirts. I've lost no less than 3 cat shirts from my building's laundry room. Fuck you, monsters that live in this building.
Wow.
And I, something made me think of it. Like
Do you
a
think
couple
they
of
stole
days
it?
ago.
Do you think they stole it for their own living room talk shows?
What if someone else in my building is doing a living room talk show?
Everyone
right
in this
now?
building was doing their own.
Wait, also, if Sean and Maria are watching, get the fuck up here. My neighbors on the 4th floor always watch.
Well,
From
great.
the 4th floor! Like, just come up!
We have people that went outside in the cold to come here. You don't have to leave your building. Anyway, it's great to be here.
Thank you. Well, I don't think I ever really answered, but it really doesn't matter. But something made me think of the shirt like 3 or 4 days ago, and I was like, I wonder if I could find the shirt. And I went on Poshmark, non-spawn content. You can sponsor us if you want, Poshmark. And I just saw someone was selling this Meowzilla shirt. And I was like, oh my God.
All right. Good deal.
Thank you.
Hey, Chelsea.
Yes.
Who's on camera 2?
Oh my gosh, well, I'm so glad you asked. As always, the coveted camera 2 spot, he had to go through background checks. We negotiated. We have Will Temper! Yet another of my beloved coworkers. I'm just going through you systematically. Here we go. So, Will, you had something fun and exciting happen this week at the Javits Center. Tell us all about it.
Yes, I went to Meet the Breeds.
Tell us what that is.
So it's it's just like the Comic-Con of dogs and cats,
Yes.
where you just approach animals and you pet them.
And you just touch them!
You just touch them. You don't even have to ask
the
because,
animals.
like, it's just sort of like you just go and you just
Don't even have to
touch
ask.
it, and then as long as you want and leave. And the owners they'll just start talking about the breed and the age. And
But do they want you to buy? Are these breeders who are selling their dogs and cats for a pretty penny who want you to buy?
they are keeping them. They like.
Oh, woo!
It's
But
very.
they're okay with everyone just like
The whole
touching them?
concept seems very strange, just because they're like, yeah, like, come pet my dog. And then it's like, oh yeah, like, my dog is 12. They've been to, like, these for the past 6 years. They're very tired. This is probably their last one.
Oh,
yeah, they're like,
no.
thank you. And then I, like, leave. Like, I don't,
How does this thing make money?
I'm here for the dog. I don't want to know your life story, but yeah. I don't know.
A
how
lot
people-
to
I
unpack.
don't understand.
A
I mean,
lot
it's great.
to unpack.
Yeah. lots
Who's
of
joining?
them.
Oh, my mom's here as always.
Yay!
Give it up for my mom. She watches every week, regardless of how much I talk about my vagina or whatnot. P.S. I'm not wearing Spanx tonight for the first time. If you're a consistent viewer, you know every week I wear Spanx so that you can't sell my vagina to TMZ. But this week we're just going for it. So who's to say? We have a great audience here tonight. We got Eric. In less delightful news, I felt like it was so hard to find delightful things this week. I could
Yes.
barely find one.
Yeah.
Things are getting less and less delightful every week.
That's
But
why we have to
listen,
keep
I found-
going.
That's why we have to keep this show marching forward. My cards are upside down. Why didn't anyone tell me? You're worse than the people who use my laundry room. By the way, oh wait, Lauren directing and producing tonight. Oh my God, how did I forget? Woo! And she's here for the second week in a row. And then if you want to be in the audience, email us. whatadelightwithchelseawhite@gmail.com. Just rolls off the tongue,
Yep.
and you will be the second person ever if
Please-
you email.
please
we're,
bring
We're
Spanx.
17 episodes in. You'll be the second. So come out. It's a lot of fun. We have lots of drinks and weird snacks that are like stale. Let's go ahead and get into this week's very slim but still spectacular
Of course.
Delight highlights.
Yes, I mean, how can we not? I think it's very important.
Okay, great. Here we go. So, Delight highlights. The Grammys were this Sunday. I don't exactly. That was my response as well.
Right?
But, just silence. Nah.
This is the first year I watched the Grammys.
This is the first year you ever watched the Grammys, Will?
I'm the movie TV fan. I'm the
But
music. Is
wait,
like,
but how
okay.
could you have never just like turned them? You work at MTV.
I
I've just
don't,
always been busy.
I don't think I've ever watched the Grammys.
What the fuck?
I mean, in your head, but like I don't pay attention.
Mel, do you watch the Grammys? Are you into the
I've watched
Grammys?
a couple
Will, we got to
times.
get Mel over here.
But,
Come
like,
on, get
I
on
didn't
your
see
shit.
this past one, but I've watched others before.
I mean, like it's still a cultural. I
Yeah,
just
it's still a
love.
big thing.
I love an event. I love a cultural event.
Yeah.
Even if I don't necessarily care about what's going on at the Grammys. I mean, all of the voting committees are trash. Can
That's
we
accurate.
talk
Sure.
about? Listen, I have lots of mixed feelings. If you're gonna get me started, Billie Eilish, who swept, that's great, and she's a woman, and she has Tourette, which I also have. We
Yep.
don't talk about that a lot on the show, but so that's really cool. But at the same time, like you beat fucking like Lizzo. It's like I feel like the Grammy committee was still like, we got this one white woman. I guess she's getting. Who is it? You know what I mean? Like, how did she still beat every other nominee? Like,
I mean, that doo 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 doo
yeah,
doo.
I mean, I don't know. I just
You
wish.
know that was based off of Wizards of Waverly Place?
Wait, what?
That's a true
Lauren with
story.
the factoid.
Yeah, that beat that you did over there, it was based off of the theme of Wizards of Waverly Place.
Are you kidding me? Do we know?
Wow.
Crazy.
It
insane!
was on late night TV. It has to be true.
Lauren with the delightful facts. All right, so I mean, I have nothing against Billie Eilish. Good for you, but I mean, I think we all know award shows are trash. However, that's why I love when people bring the petty into it. One of my faves, Tyler the Creator, had one of the pettiest tweets of all time. I'm gonna let you finish. So Tyler the Creator tweeted, "I favorited this 9 years ago. Just for the moment to tell you I got one. Yes, I'm petty as fuck. Good day, Mark." And Mark had tweeted, "Don't be too excited. You'll never get one," in regards to a Grammy.
Oh.
He favorited
Nice.
a tweet from 9 years ago just so he could say, "What's up, Mark?" That's pretty. Yeah.
That's pretty
a
good.
applause
That's
for
pretty
Tyler
good.
Creator.
I like it.
That's pretty petty. I applaud the petty.
That's
if I
Tom.
ever,
That's Tom Petty.
Yeah, that's very Tom Petty.
The most petty one can be.
I'm sweating from crossing my legs to protect my vagina. That's fine. And then, similar to, I mean, this isn't petty, this is exciting, but it's tangential because Tyler, based on, favoriting that tweet, I feel like he might have like manifested something, right? Do we believe in like putting energy, manifesting?
Yeah,
We're a manifesting audience here, right? So, in that similar theme, also Grammy related too, this woman tweeted, I forgot to write her username on my thing. Kira Sima, is that right? Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to write on my card. She tweeted, like a year ago, okay, so how do I become Lizzo's personal fat black French horn player though? And then she commented on that tweet that she had tweeted a year ago. I put my wish out into the world, and less than a year later, it came true. Ask for what you want, y'all. She played French horn with Lizzo at the Grammys.
Yeah.
So she manifested it. Give it up for I know. So I feel like when you tweet shit, you can manifest things.
That is the rare occasion where Twitter does a good thing.
I know. Well, and I mean, it doesn't have to be Twitter. You can say it in front of the mirror. You can make a vision board. I actually tweeted something to see if I manifested it.
Oh!
So we'll check back in a year.
Oh, we're not going to see it now?
Where's my tweet? No, yeah, it says, okay, so how do I become John Stamos and Christopher Maloney's cat sitters? I don't even know if either of them have cats. I'm putting it out there.
There we go.
See what happens.
Step one would be tagging them.
I know. I should. God damn it!
Tag in the comments.
It's still out, like, in the universe.
Sure.
The other delightful thing from the Grammys this week, the only delightful thing that happened at the Grammys, let's be clear.
I thought some of the outfits were delightful.
Whoa, right on track.
Oh.
Billy Porter. With it, I know! Yes! Hi, Match! Woo! I love it.
Yeah.
It's like anytime like I see cheese, it's just like the clouds part. That was it. Those are the only delightful things that happened at the Grammys. Otherwise, fuck them. And before we already go into a commercial break, the only other delightful thing I wanted to bring up was my favorite and yours.
Oh, baby, baby.
That's right. Britney Spears debuted. So because Britney, listen, I don't want to be cynical. Because I love Britney. If you've watched the show more than once, you know I love Britney. Because we have all these sound effects prepped. But, her family realized that she was no longer a cash cow who could perform.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, what else? And so they debuted, Lauren, if you would, Britney Spears, The Zone, Hollywood. So
What?
They transformed this warehouse into here. I'll cycle through the things, Lauren, as I read this. The Zone is a limited time immersive fan experience celebrating the iconic career of Britney Spears. You're invited to join through the Zone's interactive rooms, each representing Britney's culture-changing music videos. Dance through Britney High, board the toxic plane, and don't forget to look out for snakes. So you saw that was like a girl sitting in the lucky chair. That's Oops, I Did It Again. We saw the plane. It's an immersive Britney experience.
This sounds like the worst attempt to, well, maybe not the worst attempt, an attempt to monetize on the ever-growing field of Instagram experiences.
Oh, 100%. And it was perfect for Britney because now she's no longer functional as a human being.
Well,
But
what do you
her-
mean she's not functional? We talk about her Instagram every week. She
I
puts
know.
flowers on there.
Yeah.
And,
She puts Getty images on there.
I don't
every
remember
single
anything
week.
else, but there's nice stuff.
Are you a Britney fan, though?
I am. I like.
Well.
Well,
Yeah.
No, we're not asking the camera on him when he's talking.
Oh, wait, you thought I said well. Did you think I said, I'm
I
sorry.
would say "Give Me More" is probably my favorite Britney Spears song.
Oh, that's
It's
a classic.
It's a classic of mine that I just
Britney,
absolutely
bitch.
like. It'll be random throughout the day, and I'll just start singing it in my head.
I love
I
that.
just love it.
God bless.
just
All right,
love it.
well, now what do you think? Sorry that Will and Mel sound
Oh, it's
alike.
fine.
We chastised Will unnecessarily.
I deserved it. Yeah, I'm a fan. I gotta be honest with you, when I saw the outside of that place, I was expecting it to just be like discoveries on like ball pits and trampolines.
Oh my God. That's
It's
what
fun.
they should add. Like because you gotta have like the Instagram, like I'm in the Lucky Throne. or
Even the
whatever.
Color
But-
Factory has a ball pit.
Right. Imagine, or like what are some things they could do? They could actually like have a bungee jump off the moon and like Oops, I Did It
Sure.
Again.
Yes.
You should
Great
go down the
idea.
hallway with the lockers. I'm sure they have that.
They have that, but I mean, what could be even more? Maybe it's like bobsledding down the hall with the lockers.
Did she
I'm trying
ever
to think of
bobsled?
No, I'm just trying to think
Oh.
of a way to make it active. DJ Duck and Demon.
Give
I mean,
Me
you're
More
the
is
expert.
super
I don't know what extracurricular activities Britney got up to.
Oh, baby, baby.
Pole dancing in the
Give
Piece
Me
of
More
Me
video.
video, or Give Me
Sure.
More too. Oh, it was Give Me More.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was a Give Me More.
There we
Definitely
go.
remember that video. Definitely remember that
Do
video.
like a pole dancing series. All right, guys, that's all I got for this week. So let's get into Act 2. But first, a short commercial break dedicated to Tyler the Creator. So everybody dance. This is a mellow commercial break. Everybody, be petty.
I'll be petty.
Find the time to be petty in your life. That's what
Let's
this
get
song's really about.
To the point. Let's roll. Another John is gonna radio loud. Too long to be proud. You don't know. There we go.
That was a good Steven's Duck Hunt Demon on the goddamn remix
Great.
up in here.
That was fantastic.
That was a smooth.
You asked me to be petty, I'm gonna be petty.
That was fantastic. All right, you guys. The Super Bowl's this weekend. Do we care?
Yay, baby!
Does anyone really care? Were you really cheering Mal? Well, I don't even remember who it is. The Chiefs?
It's the Chiefs
and the 49ers.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm a Ravens fan, so it's kind of
Yeah.
This show is over. Cut the feed, Lauren.
Oh, God.
I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh, no! And you both have to sit on the same couch!
Oh, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go.
I can't believe I don't screen all my guests before.
You has such a vigorous screening process, and you don't screen the
My
guests.
guest for who's a Steelers fan. I don't even ask if people are allergic to cats. That I really need to add.
shit.
That's gonna get bad. That's gonna turn out.
Goddamn
That's
sadist!
not gonna turn out well one of these days. I always forget. What do you think about my side ponies? It's fine. Okay, listen, I don't care about the 49ers or the Chiefs personally, but I just really do, as I mentioned earlier, I love a cultural event. That's why I got into working in TV in the first place, is because I love a shared experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And in particular, since I don't really care about football other than the Steelers, and even then I don't really understand it as much as, beyond I get to eat mozzarella sticks and drink beer for 4 hours every Sunday. I really love the halftime show!
Yes.
So this week we are counting down the most delightful Super Bowl halftime shows. Oh yes, I forgot I made a lower third. Let's bring that up. Oh my gosh, it's Queen Janet! Woo! What a delight. All right, so I have a few facts before we do some of these clips. We got 10, so buckle up. I asked you guys at home to vote between a couple of iconic Super Bowls, just for funsies, just to see what you guys would think. So I pitted Prince against Gaga. Who do you guys think won in that vote? Between Prince and Gaga, who is your favorite Super Bowl? Any guesses of who made it out on top? What do you think, Mo?
My favorite was Prince, but I'm gonna say that Gaga.
You think that Gaga won? Prince actually won over Gaga.
Really? Yes.
I mean, it's Prince.
Yes.
And then I love Gaga. We all stand. Me and Aaron went to one of our audience members. We went to see her in Vegas last year. And then I pitted NSYNC, Britney Spears, Aerosmith. Remember that? Iconic! Against Beyonce. Also iconic. I felt like that was a Sophie's choice, but it was a clear front runner, it was 70-ish% front runner.
I would say Beyonce.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
NSYNC, Britney Spears.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. Of my followers. I know, I'm shocked. I couldn't choose. That's why I was curious as a social experiment to see. But you know what else is interesting? By and large, if you voted for Gaga, you voted for NSYNC. And then if you voted for Prince, you voted for Beyonce. Isn't that also kind of interesting? There's all the Gaga people. I know. Something's there. I don't know. Any data analysts, email me. What a delight with chelsea@gmail.com. Or comment. That would be easier. Send a telegram.
Or if anyone in the chat right now wants to pretend to be a data analyst,
Do it. Do it right now.
I'll read it.
Oh my God, Kelly loves a side pony. Thank you. Oh my God, wait! Breaking news! Robin Hopkins, who's one of the two hosts of If These Ovaries Could Talk, who was on 2 weeks ago when I was deathly ill, just said I was at Beyonce. What the?
Oh!
What? Robin, I need clarification. Were you at, because she performed twice, were you at the Beyonce 2013 with Destiny's Child, or were you when they booked Coldplay and then were like, God damn it, why'd we book Coldplay? And then they brought Beyonce back. Which one was it? Let us know. All right, keep an eye on that.
That's the circle everywhere of hiring Coldplay these days.
They're like, fuck! What have we done? And then really quickly before we go through these, Jesus Christ, it's already 9:20. What am I doing with my life? So I do love little factoids like this. Basically the history of the Super Bowl, I was curious, so I looked it up of when they started booking big name artists, because back in the day, in the 60s and 70s, it was like a marching band. It was just like any football team. I know. So one of our audience members is like, That's right. No, thank you. So so they had all these marching bands, and they started dabbling in like, maybe let's see like what would happen if we booked like one artist that people are kind of into. So in 1992, they had their lowest rated Super Bowl halftime show ever when they booked Dorothy Hamill and I didn't write down the other, whatever, 2 figure skaters to figure skate. It was Winter Wonderland themed. People were like dancing. Remember, this is February, so it's Winter Wonderland, like Christmas themed. People are singing Christmas songs, and then Gloria Estefan like does a half-hearted thing at the end. And another rival network tried to thwart them by showing a new episode of In Living Color at the exact time.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I know this story.
They did an episode of In Living Color at the exact same time as the Super Bowl halftime show, and they like
clock and everything too to let people know when to
go back to
over.
the Super Bowl. And they like murdered them in ratings.
Yep.
So after that, the NFL was like, which I mean, listen, this is not delightful. So it's not the time or place, but we all know how problematic the NFL is, and that's another thing we can all like have a debate and soul search about later. Right now, we're just celebrating the time NSYNC and Britney performed with Aerosmith. But the NFL, the problematic NFL, decided we gotta like fix this shit. So the next year, also problematic, 1993, is when my former love, Michael Jackson, who we can no longer speak of, Michael Jackson performed, and that was like when it turned the tables in 1993.
Yep.
And that's when the Super Bowl halftime show became like the Super Bowl halftime show.
Was that already the Pepsi
rating,
halftime show at that
it
point?
was a Pepsi halftime show, remember, because it caught on fire.
Yep.
And that was when sort of the Super Bowl halftime show started outrating the actual game. Yeah. And just another little factoid before I go into it. Sorry, this is like taking a lot more factoid time than I thought. It is, right? Thank you, DJ Duck and Demon. The top 10 most watched broadcasts of all time. So like just like broadcast networks, right? Top 10 of all time are all Super Bowl halftime shows, other than number 9 is the MASH finale. Isn't that wild?
The MASH finale?
The MASH finale is number 9, most watched of all time.
But hold on.
The others are all Super Bowl halftime shows.
But this is on network television, right? This is on
broadcast network. Yeah. Yes,
so
ABC,
who gives
NBC,
a shit? I mean, what?
Bite your tongue.
No, I mean, I'm serious.
God bless
No,
Viacom. But
think about it.
Viacom merged with CBS. Fuck you.
All right. Listen, I understand you have to, keep it clean for Big Brother. I don't know what
CBS.
it is. Yes.
It's all
Viacom
one.
CBS. We're not terrible. Ding. No. So my point being is, with cable numbers, and especially you look at something like the Lost finale, even Game of Thrones or whatever, like these are also cultural events that have probably...
Sure.
But I'm willing to do the own damage.
Right. Of course. I'm sure there's also like cable cultural moments that have usurped. But in terms of network TV, and the number one, what do you guys think the most rated Super Bowl halftime show of all? And I keep saying Super Bowl halftime show because all those in the top 10, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure I know that it's true for the first like 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure it's for all 10. The halftime show outrated, as historically for the past like 10 or 20 years, outrated the game. People tune in just for the halftime show. So what do you think the most rated on network broadcast TV Super Bowl halftime show of all time is?
Janet Jackson's.
I fucking wish. You wish and I wish.
What is it?
Fucking Katy Perry. Like, what? I know!
The dinosaur?
Gross! With the left shot!
I mean, left shot was a cultural moment.
No!
Janet and he whose name we will not speak of. He will not be named isn't like even in the top 10. Yeah, it's like, oh wait, I already threw my card.
I guess, is Katy... Oh, what? Well,
To be fair, though, no one knew to watch for a moment.
Well,
like, that's big
sure.
because
but
after the
it
fact.
should have. Well, this is a good segue to just get into it because everyone forgets how jam-packed and like ridiculously early 2000s that Super Bowl halftime show was. Everyone just remembers the Janet and what's his name moment. But let's just get into it. Actually, so some of these clips I play out for a while. Let's just sing along. Have a good time. Nobody gets hurt. But Mel, I think, do you want to join me for this?
Sure.
Yeah, get in here. Let's do this together. Get in here. Let's get in here. We're going to talk to you a lot about all of your projects in a minute.
Cool.
DJ Duck and Demon has a heart out of 10. I'm already fucking that up for him, but we'll see what happens. He's like, if we could like really wrap up about it 10 tonight, that would be good because I have to haunt someone else's subconscious after.
Listen, it's hard out here.
Guys, I'm really... Woo! All right, listen. I think I just ruined it. I think everyone just saw my vagina. That's fine. I would love to be on TMZ. Could you imagine about my vagina?
You should put that on a tweet.
Manifestation.
I would love to have an article on TMZ about my vagina. All right, you guys, this is my personal top 10. I took all of yours that you guys voted into account, but I didn't even really need to because you guys agreed with me, basically.
There you go.
So it all worked out. Number 10, 1990. So right before they turned it around. I can't believe that this wasn't the year that turned it around. Did you guys know that New Kids on the Block performed? Let's check it out. Oh, sorry, Melvin, your head's cut off.
You should both slide over.
Yeah, let's slide over. Slide over a little bit. Oh no, we gotta slide over this way. We gotta slide over this way. There we go.
A little more. Sorry, everybody. Yeah.
No, there we go.
There we go. Got it.
This is
Oh, baby, gonna get to you, girl.
Look at how much they don't have to do at this point. like spectacle didn't exist yet.
So he's just going side to side and just singing.
Just like oversized white jackets and just sort of.
That's it.
So exciting. What do you think about New Kids on the Block? Do we care?
Honestly, I don't.
Okay, perfect. So next.
Keep it real.
Most people would also probably, I just want to point this out, most people will probably bring up in 1996, I'm sorry, you're like sitting on my sweat spot, so Mel, I'm just so sorry
it's
about
okay.
that.
I was like, yeah, this is a little.
It's very moist.
It's all right.
It's very moist.
It's okay.
That's what happens behind the scenes and underneath my ass
What do you
every
mean behind
time.
the scenes? Every week it's in front of the scenes.
Yeah,
What
well,
did you like?
it's underneath me. though.
Under the scenes.
Under this, my butt
Under
is
the
under the
scenes.
scenes.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
So just to point out, most people would probably mention 1996 Diana Ross, which clearly was iconic, but the Cowboys beat the Steelers that year, so fuck that year. 1998, as part of a Motown tribute, which is pretty iconic, Boyz II Men performed, you guys. Let's check that out.
Please welcome the #1 Motown recording act today, Boyz II Men.
Back again. Look at those white suits. Look at that sharp white fucking.
This is the
Look,
difference.
and then they spell Boyz II Men with the white. Also, wait, I just realized, Lauren, do you want to drag camera 2 above all those clips?
Sure.
Or on opposite, under them?
Okay.
We're doing some
Do
live
you know what I mean, though?
OBS swapping.
Sure.
No, wait. Oh, is it already happening? Like, if you switch to camera 2, does the clip still go on top of camera 2? It would.
I'm gonna find out.
Let's try. Put a clip on just for fun.
I'm doing it. Yeah, here we go.
Put any clip on that we already saw. Okay, now
The
put on camera 2.
#1 Motown recording act today, Boyz II Men.
No, but it goes over. We want to go under, so I think I steered you wrong. I think we want the camera 2 to be under. Yeah! So put it where it was. Okay, I was wrong. I steered you wrong. Do you guys remember the Boyz II Men performing the Super Bowl?
A little bit, yeah. And
You
also,
do? That was 1998, but doesn't it seem like it was like fucking 1982?
Yeah, so long.
That
ago.
footage looks so old.
quality
How is it
nowadays.
1998?
Crazy.
I mean,
do you remember
HD
this, though?
didn't really come into
1998?
prominence until what? 2001?
Yeah, then
I
we
was gonna say,
harnessed
like,
it for our
mid-
cameras.
Early, yeah.
Look at that crisp HD
I know, like,
camera.
yeah.
You look so good.
If only we had Boyz II Men right here.
look so
Chelsea,
good.
is that someone at the door?
Oh, I got you guys. I have a surprise for you. All right, 1999. I am such a big Stevie Wonder fan, but I did not even remember that Stevie Wonder performed at the Super Bowl. Did you guys remember? Danielle remembers. Our audience knows
Really?
Danielle.
I had no idea.
Not only performed at the Super Bowl, but also, this is the greatest. Someone just tuned in now. They're like, what is this show? I was just sitting. Melvin's sitting on a wet spot. They can't tell that visually,
Well,
but I
Shahir
feel like
just
they can,
joined,
sense,
so-
they can sense it.
What a
And then,
delight.
Shahir joined. But not only did Stevie Wonder perform, but also he tap danced with Savion Glover.
See,
I'm sorry. Let's
This is
check
why I
that
feel like
out.
he's not really.
Then we talked about that
Talked about it last week.
Glover, look at that! What a monster! I mean, like, good in good way. Like a monster of dance. And then we put Stevie Wonder though actually gets up. Wait. This is a fun shot with that. Those are him and the lights.
See, there's so much going on. No. No, I don't. Stevie is not blind.
Okay,
He is not blind.
We were talking about
blind
if
as
you,
no way.
if you guys didn't tune in last week, we actually, in honor of the occult Illuminati holiday, which is on
occult?
which is the occult, which is it's this week. I think it's actually the same day as the Super Bowl. So I wanted to do this.
What a
show this weekend.
coincidence.
I know,
Oh, my
I know.
goodness.
So in honor of the occult holiday,
Pyramids on the dollar bill. Yes.
we talked about the greatest celebrity conspiracy theories of all time last week, and we talked about Stevie Wonder
Yes.
not being blind. And we showed the clip of where he's performing a concert and a microphone stand falls, and he goes to reach for it. You
But
guys
I
remember
made the
that?
point. You can be legally blind and also not just see nothing. You can see shapes, you can see colors, you
That
can
is
see...
correct.
Yes.
That is correct. However, it's always been assumed that he's like blind.
Right.
I mean, that's just good marketing. There's not saying anything false.
What do you guys think, though? Does it prove that Stevie Wonder isn't blind because for the fact that he tap danced with Savior
Blind
Glover?
people can tap dance.
What do you think Savior Glover's doing right now? Would he come on
good
this?
question.
Could we get
Yeah.
him?
You probably could.
Could we get
You
Savior
probably- you could
Glover?
book him.
You know what you should do?
Let's add him on Twitter.
Tweet about it. Yeah.
Manifest it.
Let's get shot of Miranda Hobbs also, by the way. Well,
This is why you're here.
Will, what do you think so far? Any deep thoughts? We're still getting into it. We're about to really get into the meat of it right now.
You were talking about favorite celebrity conspiracy theories.
Oh,
My
boy.
favorite one that makes no sense that I just think is hysterical is that Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey.
Oh my God, we talked about that one!
That's my favorite.
And Katy Perry's not on this countdown because fuck her and fuck her Super Bowl.
Wow.
Sorry, Mom, but that's how I feel. All right, 2016.
Is that the name of your memoirs?
Yes. Sorry, Mom.
I will buy it.
Copyright it now.
In 2016, the NFL booked Coldplay and then was regretful. So then they quickly booked Bruno Mars and Beyonce. And after this performance, the very next weekend, the Beyonce performance-inspired sketch aired on SNL of white people realizing that Beyonce is black. all based on this performance. And guys, you better get into it and sing along because this performance, we're going full chorus. So here's my number, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be like 6. My 6th favorite Super Bowl of all time. Beyonce performing Formation. I was blown away by this and to think that then this would lead into Homecoming.
Oh, God.
This is like a
How did it
foreshadowing.
not win an Emmy? I still don't get it. James Corden doesn't drive that car, guys. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Guys, this still keeps going on. So everybody get involved. Like, I see that pyrotechnics. Look at
She's doing all this in like heels, on the glass, like Beyonce's level of like ability to just be so much better than everybody else. Like, nobody can
It's like being like basically like on an average day is reaching of everybody. One of our audience members, Aaron, the Beyonce over Insane. You're a Beyonce fan. I mean, I am too. I was going to try to say
Beyonce or Michael Jackson.
well, it's so hard because Michael Jackson is truly changed it for me now. But I will also say, do you think that Beyonce works harder than Michael Jackson?
I don't know if I would say that, but I will say that Mike is not doing this in heels.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like there's a little bit of oh, my phone is low battery. I feel like with oh my God, shut up.
Too much
my own
stuff.
Instagram is going.
Too much technology.
I feel like with and this is not. I don't want this to come across as a slight to Beyonce, but I feel like with Michael, there's just so much like maybe more of a level of just like create mad genius sort of organic talent, and Beyonce is like very close on his heels, but maybe has to work a little bit harder, which makes me admire her more.
I'm gonna make,
Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna make a controversial statement.
Oh my
Michael
God!
Jackson that has
Be
nothing to do
careful.
with the reasons why we
Be
don't
careful,
we
DJ
feel,
Duckman.
we feel odd about it.
Okay.
Michael Jackson is an
Watching.
incredibly talented performer. There is no
Illuminati is
question. No one
watching.
can take that away. However, he existed at a time where there were less incredibly talented performers actively performing.
Sure.
So for instance, nowadays, and I'm not saying like maybe 2 or 3 acts right now could even come close to Michael Jackson.
Sure.
But there's just people. We are pushing performance further and further and further, and therefore even some mediocre acts with the help of pyrotechnics or a whole stage crew or something else could put on a spectacle equal to just Michael Jackson.
I get what you're saying.
So there's a weird balancing issue. We got a little bit deep here. I'm sorry, Chelsea, what's
No,
number 5?
I love it. That's why we do this. Also, my boss, Garth, just joined. Can we have a question for Garth? So I'm trying to get Garth to participate in a segment. Also, if you're just tuning in, we're sitting like this close because we're playing clips that show up in this area of the screen. So a clip is about to come. Also, we're just good pals. And so, fuck you for caring.
Listen.
But
Just enjoy yourself.
just enjoy yourself. Nobody gets hurt. So Garth, if you're still watching, because I feel like it shows me things on a delay. It's neither here nor there. I'm trying to get Garth to participate in a segment where we did it one time in season 1. I've been trying to get someone else to come on board since, where I have a boss of mine read notes he gave me on video cuts out loud.
I mean, that's fun.
It's so fun, right? And so I had one of my former bosses do like a pre-tape, and I was trying to get Garth to do it pre-tape, but I just don't you feel like it would be so much better if he was here?
Oh, yes,
You gotta come, Garth.
You got
Come, Garth.
Train comes right here.
Gotta do it.
Don't get the point.
You gotta do it.
I told him I'd send him a car.
We will send you a vehicle.
Oh my God. All right. Let's
It
keep
won't be
going.
an Uber X, but it will be a vehicle.
It might be via.
Yeah.
It might
But it's
be
still a vehicle.
It might be Will in a van.
Yeah.
Look
In
at
a
the 12
Prius.
pass. Look at the 12 pass.
All right, let's keep going. My number, 1, 2, 3,
Are we a 5?
4. This is 5. My number 5 out of 10 all-time Super Bowl halftime show. It's Prince. Let's show it. It's Prince. And this is your favorite of all time, right? Now, why is this your favorite of all
So
time?
this is my favorite because the Bears were in the Super Bowl. I'm originally from Chicago.
Love it.
I had recently just watched Purple Rain for the first time. So then
Iconic.
putting all that together, and then I never got to see Prince live. That was one of my things that I always wanted.
I felt that way about
Yeah, agreed. And being able to have this as like the performance that I got to see quote unquote live in Prince was just like,
It's so iconic for so many reasons, and Prince is obviously amazing. But the other thing that was great from a pop culture standpoint about this performance is people were really angry about how phallic his guitar was.
Jealous, maybe.
more like that.
I love when people
And it was like downpouring that day.
It was
Like
downpouring.
slip or something could have
Yes.
fell, and he was just.
He was out here.
Just go.
He was out here.
Yeah.
Give it up for Prince. He won over Lady Gaga, who's coming up on the countdown. All right, you guys. This is a hard thing to place. I wanted to put it at number 1, but then I have such mixed feelings about the outcome for one of the participants. Obviously, we all remember Super Bowl 2004. This is also on a Viacom CBS note.
Okay.
MTV started producing the Super Bowl halftime show in 2001, the iconic NSYNC Britney Spears that we talked about before, and we were kind of owning it. And then in 2004, after 2004, they took it away from us because of you'll remember Nipplegate. Which Nipplegate, when Justin,
The Man on the Woods.
the man of the woods, who we will not say his name, I almost said his name, God damn it. He reached over and pulled part of Janet Jackson's clothing off, revealing one of her breasts and her nipple. And obviously, as human Americans, were horrified by women's bodies. And so all hell broke loose, and Janet was banned from the Super Bowl, and then the other gentleman involved got to play the Super Bowl a couple years ago because why not? He's fine. He's a man. And but also, it was a terrible album, and also that happened in Super Bowl 2004. In 2005, end of 2004, and then 2005 is when YouTube came about, and YouTube's creator was inspired because he couldn't find a clip of Nipplegate.
Wow.
That's true. Did you guys know
That's
that?
crazy.
That's why YouTube happened.
You know what?
He didn't
Thank
look
you
hard
so
enough.
much.
Do you remember
Thank you,
that?
Janet.
I was gonna say he didn't look hard enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you
Just
so
emailed
much,
me.
Janet. Thank you.
Yeah.
So So, what I do, I'm not going to show that part because I don't want to give the man we will not speak of any more screen time. I'm acting like I didn't used to adore him in many ways.
Listen, I do partially. I still do to a degree, minus that last album. However, it's not fair that he got to perform.
It's not, exactly.
Still,
it's not fair that he got to perform and that Janet's career tanked after that. But so I'm not going to show that part. But what I do want to show is a handful of little snippets of what happened before the finale of Janet and Justin and Nipplegate, because nobody remembers. The show was opened by Jessica Simpson yelling this.
Wait, what'd she say?
She said choose to party because it was coming out of like a voting sort of like PSA. And then she said Houston, choose to party. She's from Houston. Also, sidebar, how excited are we for Jessica Simpson's memoir? I am such a I'm always rooting for Jessica. Oh my God, it's so spicy. But also, low-key, did she have a stroke? Did you watch her Today Show interview? She looks like she had a stroke. Like, something's going on with her. She's unwell. Okay, anywho, Jessica Simpson opened the show that way.
Houston, choose to party.
He choose to party, and then Diddy did like a Jamiroquai, presumably
a Jamiroquai. I don't remember any of this.
What's true? He did like a Jamiroquai moving cowpox. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm really sweating though. Oh boy, it's fine. So Diddy did that. Nelly came out.
We're
I know we're echoing.
I don't remember any of this.
How prophetic.
What?
Then they went into more money, more power. You don't remember any of this because
it was so
important because everybody only remembers Nipplegate.
That's it.
And then, guys, Kid Rock was there.
Yeah, all of this is like deleted from my memory. Like there's.
I mean, Kid Rock's generally deleted from my memory.
I mean, that's a surprise. It's fair, but
I wish my boyfriend was here. Wow. He just told me recently that he performed on a Kid Rock cruise.
Wait, there's a Kid Rock cruise?
It was a Kid Rock cruise, and he has so many weird stories from it. And then finally, this is not the Nipplegate part, but Janet performed like so many other fucking songs, like this iconic Rhythm Nation stuff. Look at her! What a beauty! She did the like. See, people don't even remember how many amazing things happened before the other amazing thing happened, which was seeing Janet Jackson's breast, which was maybe the most amazing thing that will happen to any of us.
Can't disagree with you whatsoever.
So, but do you even remember that she performed Rhythm Nation?
I really don't. No. That's like I don't remember anything before that moment.
That's what I'm saying. People in the world, better way of life. We are a part of a Rhythm Nation. All right, if it's not over, we can kill it, Lauren. There's a lot going on. Okay. Number 3. My favorite and yours, Lady Gaga, started it like this. Wait, this is the most memeable. Yeah, that's me jumping in to a vat of cats, and then this one definitely got more ratings than the game, and then it ended like this. This made me it makes me nervous to even watch it. When I was prepping this clip last night, something about it still makes me feel like, is she gonna catch it? Like, of all the dance moves she does and everything, this to me feels like the most dangerous. Like, what if she didn't catch it?
Yeah, that
could
have been really bad.
Imagine if she didn't catch it and then that was...
That's why she's a superstar. She lived up to the moment. She caught it and then was gone.
Oh, it gives me a heart attack. All right, guys.
She needs a contract.
Number 2.
We have number 2, and this is a long one because we're all going to sing along. Sorry. Here we go. This is Beyonce. I have the flu. I said it before because I was a little bit louder in the like, dare I say she looks better than Beyonce?
Kelly look amazing.
Can I say she looks better than Beyonce?
Every
And
365.
then Michelle just looks like she's going to like topple over if you like nudge
The wind
her.
blows
You know
to
what?
her.
Yes, the wind blows to her, and that's not a knock to her body build. That's just like her awkward. I'm gonna mute it because we're echoing the audience. It's like just her awkward stature and demeanor, and like even like, wait, are we gonna show the part where they sort of, oh maybe I don't have it. They do like a single ladies thing, and Beyonce and Kelly are being like so sexy, and Michelle's just like.
But isn't that because she hadn't been performing for a long time?
I
she's
do want to
always
say,
been a
like,
little bit
it's
hashtag
kind of been
awkward.
like clearly Beyonce, then you have Kelly,
Yeah.
but Michelle's been like, I've been kind of living life outside of
Right.
the
That
limelight type of
space.
thing. So,
But it wasn't. But
yeah.
she was always like, she was never out.
But
to
this
the
is what I'm
front,
saying. If you're
Kelly.
Beyonce, you are practicing this kind of shit all the live long, it's all the damn time,
This is
right?
how
When
you-
Michelle was okay, well, right now they could be out of practice, but back during Destiny's Child, it
But
wasn't
this
any
wasn't during
better.
Destiny's Child. This
No,
was during
but
the
I'm
reunion.
saying that during Destiny's Child, she wasn't.
Just leave Michelle alone.
Poor
Let
Michelle.
Michelle live.
Leave Michelle alone. All right, you guys, and the #1 Super Bowl halftime performance
Did you
of
lie?
all
Is it Katy
time,
Perry?
according to me, is not Katy Perry. How dare you? Katy Perry came to Grove City College, which is a college I went to back when she went by Katie Hudson.
When
she was a Christian
rock?
artist. And my friend
Christian
Kelly, who's homesick,
rock.
but I think she's watching. Feel better, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Had to like greet her because she was on the like music committee of like bringing bands in. And said, I won't even tell her story because I don't know if she wants it to be told. But next time, I think Kelly, is going to do camera 2 in a couple weeks, so you'll have to tell your story. Anywho, that's a teaser! But the #1 Super Bowl halftime show of all time, according to me, and you though, because you guys voted this over Beyonce, so who am I to say the most iconic pairing, NSYNC, Britney Spears, and Aerosmith! Let's go!
Yeah, did they vote it?
Tampa, you ready to run?
What's up, people? You ready to rock?
No. No.
Doesn't this make it all so much better?
But I do love NSYNC, so I can't be mad.
I really love NSYNC. Are they better than Backstreet Boys?
Oh
right?
my God,
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
forever. We can bond over that.
Ravens and Steelers fans can get along as long as they like NSYNC better than Backstreet Boys. I forgot that we get this echo. So this is fucking low. I wanted us to be screaming.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've done picture-in-picture for a long time, so
It's kind of fun though, right?
working on it.
How did you feel about this when it happened though? Did you care about this?
I don't
my
think
God,
I was. I think the
look
only thing I
at
was
her,
watching for
what an
was
angel.
NSYNC because I remember one of the first CDs I ever got was
Right.
my dad bought me the Celebrity album.
Wait, I think I don't want to flash the audience, but we were talking about old CDs earlier, and so I brought out some,
Oh my
Celebrity, but
Yes!
I have like the No Strings Attached, and I have the original NSYNC CD right here.
That's crazy.
What do you think about that?
Oh my God. My entire childhood is in your hands right now. That is insane. I did nothing but play that album until it couldn't be played anymore.
I mean, the best, and also wait, oh God, did we miss Britney singing? Yeah, we did. That's fine.
Oh, is this pre
Back
Cry
when
River?
they were still,
Right, and they were still
back
so
when they were
nice to each
still
other.
America's
During
sweethearts.
the Blue Jeans days.
And Chris Kirkpatrick is from the really small town that I'm from in Pennsylvania, Clarion. Can you believe
wow.
it? So look, it's like
like you're there.
it's like I'm there. Oh my, and the Mary J. Blige is there for no reason. God bless.
All these people just popping
God
up, and I
bless.
just know nothing about. I don't have any.
Nelly
recollection
comes
of
out
it.
after, but I didn't go that far because this clip's already gone on for 20 minutes.
So who's
it's
playing
okay.
this year?
Okay, so this year is, should we cut out of this here? And also, so that was it, guys. That was the top 10. So here,
What a life we
Give us
live!
that over.
scooch over and I'll sit back in my wet spot.
You got it.
You've dried it off for me, so
worries.
thank you for
No
that.
problem.
Thank you for
I
that.
got your back.
You're a real friend. The Super Bowl halftime show this year, I wish I could say I care, and I loved her in Hustlers, but it's J-Lo and Shakira, and I've never cared about Shakira. And I care about J-Lo, like, I guess from just, generational icon standpoint, but I've never felt about her that like I do about Britney or Christina or even Mary J. Blige, honestly.
I also think that J-Lo has been pushing the whole I can still wear the dress thing for a long
It's like,
time.
we get it.
Yeah.
I mean, but she
You
can.
don't drink,
she
your
can,
life is
without a
miserable.
doubt. Still looks good in it.
And I think the Super Bowl this year with them with her performing will either push that narrative forward or not.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's a dumb thing to say, like,
Right.
oh, 50-50. But, like, that'll be sort of where the conversation goes as far as...
Right.
Because, like, Hustlers was amazing.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh no, did Miranda just almost knock something over?
Is that good? I can't
Oh my god.
can't wait.
All right, listen. Now, specifically because this is a night that DJ Duck and Demon said he had a heart out, we've gone longer than ever. Also, Ben Seligman just said it's his birthday. He's watching. Happy birthday So why don't we do this? Also because the feed's gonna get cut in 9 minutes. Should we go down and come back up and then do Mel's segment?
Sure.
Because I don't want to lose in the middle of the segment. So you guys, stay tuned. Oh, I removed that goddamn lower third. We should have used it. It's fine. Listen, you guys.
No.
We'll be back and say the alphabet in your head. We're gonna come right back up. We'll see you in a minute, and we're gonna talk to Melvin. Welcome back to What I Like with Chelsea White. I hope you guys watched the first act where we talked about the Super Bowl for a long goddamn time for a problematic corporation called the NFL. But you gotta love when NSYNC and Britney Spears perform together. Do you know what I mean?
Got to.
And now we're gonna chat with the man, the myth, the legend, Melvin.
Oh, great.
Right?
Voice. Yes. Okay.
So that,
I'm with it.
Melvin, I don't want to be rude because
problem.
this is your time to shine. However, I missed a call from my parents.
Oh my goodness.
And I kind of want to see what's up.
You gotta
Should we
call
see
him.
what's up?
You gotta call him.
Okay.
Listen,
What's
I could be doing
happening?
anything. My mom calls, everything stops.
All right, fair.
I get it.
I just wondered if she was... Mom, I just want to make sure I saw you called. Is everything okay? Did you see my vagina?
Well, yes, but it's real important. You guys said early on that you guys didn't care who's winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we
That's
don't.
correct.
Well, no, you have to root for the Chiefs
Why?
because the 49ers have won 5 Super Bowls. If they win one more, then they'll tie with the Steelers.
Well, look who has a horse in the race.
Wow.
Oh my God, Mom! I can't believe I didn't know that because I made a big deal of that with the Patriots last year.
That's crazy.
But I forgot. The 49ers were under my radar.
Hey, Mom, go Ravens.
Well, you better.
Oh my God, yeah, Melvin's trolling us. Oh my God, Mom, thank you so much for this important information.
Okay, good. Okay, have
Okay,
fun.
I love you.
Bye.
All right, the 49ers are trash. Go Chiefs! Go Chiefs! Go Chiefs! Go Chiefs! Okay, that was good.
Owls
All
are
right. Oh my gosh. So first of all, not to take it down a notch, but
problem.
let's take this from a delightful standpoint.
Let's do it.
This was a sad week because of cultural icon Kobe Bryant, along with many other people, including his daughter, and then multiple people from the same families very tragically lost their lives. And Kobe was very important to you.
Yeah.
Why was Kobe so important to you?
Kobe was like
Other than the obvious reasons.
he was like my idol pretty much. Like the reason why I work so hard for everything that I'm doing, or like when I like just operating off of 4 or 5 hours of sleep, I'm just like, Kobe's somewhere working out right now doing this, and that's just like that was my dad even would call me Kobe from time to time. Like that's how much it was like my dude. So when I found that out, I was like, I'm just done with everything today. But
I get it. Well,
Yeah.
It's very sad. But it's nice to note that, how many people are thinking of his family, and everything on that slight miniature silver lining. All right, you guys, bringing it back to something very not related to death.
Real quick, let's get a shot of the shoes.
I'm really good at
thank
segues.
you.
Oh my god, yeah, we got it.
Thank you. Yes.
We got a nice
I
sneaker
have
game
the
happening.
Jordan ones in
Wait.
my customary Lakers colors because purple is my favorite color and yellow is my other favorite color.
Well, wait, now I have to show mine too.
Then you gotta show her shoes too. Look at those. Look at those.
All right.
Perfect.
Oh my god, Will in the shoe cam, and he did a move off the chandelier in the beginning. Should Will be camera 2 every week? Oh yeah, Will's shoes.
I think you should.
Will, you're booked every week. So Mel, you wear a lot of hats. I mean, you're also a host. You act, you improvise, you do all the things. You were actually in a commercial recently.
I was.
So we have the entire commercial. I want to at least show a little bit. Before we show it, go into it, I want you to give us the backstory on how it all came together. And congrats.
Thank you very much. So I got this like audition for a Joseph Gordon-Levitt type of guy, and I was like,
that was
not
the casting call?
any way, shape, or form. Like that's completely not me. But I'ma just go just to see what happens. And I went in, and everybody there basically was like a Joseph Gordon-Levitt like look-alike type of guy, and I was just like, I'm definitely not booking this commercial, but I'm just gonna have fun in the room and just see what happens. And went into the room, did the little bit that they asked me to do, then I just left out, like ripped up the papers, because I always do that after my auditions, because I'm like, I don't want to think about it.
Sure.
I just want to put it into the universe, and whatever happens, happens. And ended up getting a call back, and they were like, whatever it was that you had, like they just loved you.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know. OBS kicked us off. I think it's because it could tell that Melvin is a Ravens fan. But so you were.
What was the Steelers record this year?
You were in. Okay.
All right.
Okay, listen.
All right.
You were telling the story when OBS kicked us off about that everyone in the room, or I can figure out how to cut it, but you were at a commercial audition. The casting call was for a Joseph Gordon-Levitt type. You ended up getting cast in it.
Basically.
But don't you think you had mentioned too that it was sort of because you were like, I'm probably not going to get this, well, let's just have fun. Don't you feel like those are the things that you always end up booking when you're sort of like, fuck it, like,
it's like
I don't care.
The ones where you're like, oh my God, like I really hope I get this, I really hope I do well. It like never really works out. But the ones when you're, man, look, I don't care. I'm just going to go be loose and just have a good time.
Absolutely.
And just take it however it goes.
Absolutely.
Those are the ones that always end up coming through.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and now it is airing at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, where the Atlanta Falcons play.
That's so cool! Yeah. Should we take a look at a few seconds of this commercial? Let's check it out.
We're Novellus, the leading producer of flat-rolled aluminum and the world's largest recycler of it.
Yeah.
We're proud to be the official recycling partner of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and to call Atlanta home. Did you know that aluminum is infinitely recyclable? And here's a crazy thought. 75% of the aluminum ever produced is still in use today. That's why we need your help. Please toss your aluminum bottles, cans, and cups into the recycling bins all around the stadium. Our crew will take those empties and remake them into new aluminum beverage packaging. So here's a quick reminder of what we need you to do. Recycle this. Definitely don't recycle that. Ugh. Recycle this. No. Do you have email? Recycle this. Touchdown. Don't recycle that. No. No. So, what do you do with the empty can in your hand? All together now. Recycle it. Recycle it. You got it. Thanks for helping us create the next generation of sustainable aluminum solutions. Novellus, shaping a sustainable world together.
Now you have to go to Atlanta to watch your commercial
I
air.
have to officially, I've always driven through to go to Florida, but I've never officially been. So now I have to go to a Falcons game so that way I can see it on the Jumbotron.
So you can watch.
I gotta do it.
That's so fun.
I gotta do it this year. Yeah. So yeah.
So are you like, well, wait, I'll save that question for the end of after we talk about a couple of your other projects. But I also found this when I was trolling your Instagram. This is from like a year or two ago. No, this is nothing, just also related to our Super Bowl halftime show Countdown, of which Diddy was a part of. You met Diddy.
Oh my God!
What was going on with you and Diddy?
So,
Did you ask him about performing at the Super Bowl?
God.
Did you ask him about performing at the forgotten Super Bowl?
I did not.
Or the most remembered Super Bowl that nobody remembers
Nobody
anything
remembers
else that happened?
Yeah, I did
Diddy's
not
like,
ask him that
I
question.
the Super Bowl, and
I wish
was
I
like,
could
did
have.
you?
Had I remembered, I definitely would have. I remember that day. I was like working a production job at the time that I loved, but it was just like the shittiest day possible. It was like the worst day, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk to the bodega and give me a sandwich because I need to get out the office.
Right.
And as I'm walking, I like end up going to another bodega, and I see 3 guys in front of me start to slow down, and I'm like, is there something, like my spidey senses are going off? Like maybe I shouldn't walk this way. And then I kind of look past them, and I see 3 other guys walking, but the guy in the middle has on flip-flops that look expensive, and I'm like, hold on, like those, nobody else will really be wearing these outside, so let me walk a little bit closer. And as I walk closer, the 3 guys that were in front of me are all just like talking to each other and blah blah blah, and I'm just like listening in. And the closer I get, like I've seen enough clips to be like, that's Diddy, like that's him right there. And then he had his 2 sons beside him, so
Oh my God.
I like casually kept walking down the street because I was like, I have to go this way anyway, but I don't want to be following him. So
Right,
I don't know
or
what
like
to
act
do.
like,
It was
right.
like I don't know how to act right now. It was like, should I cross the street? I don't know. So I keep like going down the street, and then the 3 guys like brush past me, and they're like, oh my God, Diddy, can we get a picture? And by this point in time, he's crossed the street, and he's like, yeah, sure, come on. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna be left out of this, so I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna get a picture too. And we went over, got a picture, and I just like got to briefly talk to him, and it was just like, thank you so much for everything you've done, and blah blah blah. And he was like, oh man, you know, just call me Love, like it's all good, blah blah blah, I appreciate it, Playboy, blah, blah, all of that stuff. It was so cool. It was so cool. So now I'm like never gonna forget that. That was like the worst day, and then I was like, oh my God, I met Diddy today.
I love that.
So, yeah.
What's your favorite Diddy track?
My
Do you have a favorite Diddy song? I'm really putting you on the spot.
Man, my
Also,
favorite, it might be Last Night with Keisha Cole. Maybe.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
I was gonna say Deep Cut, but it's not at all because it was a huge hit. But I always think about Diddy in his like heyday, you
Yeah.
know, right, like
Yeah.
late '90s, early 2000s era.
sure.
So you forget about
sure.
like about that Diddy era. Also, this is controversial, and I don't want to get off track. Are you trying to? Oh yeah. Oh.
Last night, couldn't even get an answer. Let me down.
What year is this? Like 2005?
This was like
Six?
early, like slash mid 2000s.
I feel like this might have been on the countdown when I worked at Tiro, which was 5, 6, 7.
2006.
There you go. Yeah, so it was. Oh my
There
God.
you go, for sure.
This I want to say with affection for Diddy, which I have, but I was having a conversation with my boyfriend like a few nights ago where something came up about Diddy, and we both looked at each other and said, is Diddy talented? Like, is he actually talented? Or is he just like an amazing marketing genius?
I will say he's definitely an amazing marketing genius. However, he's talented in the sense that he knows what people likes and can bring it together in a way.
So you think he's a
many other
tastemaker?
people- Yes.
Which I think is a talent.
Yes.
He is also a charismatic human being.
Very
He
much
is
so.
very
And
charismatic.
sometimes
Very much
charisma
so.
can trump talent.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Definitely.
The more you know.
Meowzilla. So, let's talk about some of your hosting projects.
Cool,
Listen,
cool.
I don't often have other hosts on the show because
There's reasons.
most hosts are not great. But you're a great host.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate
very
that. As are you.
Well, I mean, thank you. Listen, I mean, you're in my living room, so you have to say that, but I appreciate it. So you host a couple of things. Let's talk about your radio show,
Okay.
The Alt with Mel.
Yes.
Tell us how that came about. Tell us, like,
So I had just moved to New York City.
Okay.
And at the
I
time,
think we have
while
some
I was
B-roll. You can
in-
throw it up, Lauren,
Cool.
while we're
Oh,
talking.
God,
There you go. I
definitely
just
have
took
it.
this from your reel.
So perfect.
Where at?
At the time, I was in Chicago and I was taking night classes. So I would go and work during the day full time. Then I would go and take night classes to study more about radio and TV production because I was like, that's everything that I want to do.
Yeah.
And like maybe 2 months before I finished the program that I was in, I got the call that I was going to be coming to New York to work a job. So I was like, I just have to go. Like, I can't finish my classes. But the people that I knew there, we had recently started a show. We had to stop. But one of the guys was like, hey, I'm starting my own online station. So whenever you get yourself like together and you get up on your feet, if you ever want to like do a show, you can just like podcast it and send it in to me and whatnot. And I just like heard it and I was like, okay, cool. Like at some point I'll do it. And within like 2 to 3 months of getting here, I was like, you know what? Like, I really need to find a way for me to be able to do my own thing that's also comfortable for me, because I don't know a lot of people here just yet. So let me figure out how I can make that happen. And I went and bought me a microphone, and I was just like, okay, I need a name. And I thought the alternative, because growing up, I would listen to a lot of people's songs, but I wouldn't necessarily like the popular songs. I would kind of like the songs that were kind of more so the deep cuts, or that people really did. Exactly. That's what the B-sides. I was going to say that, but not everybody knows the B-sides. So the B-sides for sure. And I called it the alternative because I was like, all right, I want to play the B-side records more so than I play the A-side records, and also whatever else it is I discover as I'm going through my own musical journey.
DJ Duck and Demon is our B-side DJ.
There we go.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Actually, and to tie it all together, my favorite Tom Petty B-side is actually a track called Dancing at the Zombie Zoo. No one talks about this piece of shit track, and I love it. No, it is a wonderful track.
It is a wonderful track.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, check that out.
I'm gonna YouTube it.
What?
I'm gonna YouTube it later.
I mean, maybe there's a video. I don't even know.
You can react to it on your YouTube channel.
I can.
But you have tens of thousands of followers on your YouTube channel.
I do. I think we're at like 13,000.
That's amazing.
Very nice.
You react to videos. You post. I mean, like you have your show in there. You also have your, like I almost said at the beginning, Made in Manhattan. It just rolls off the tongue.
It does. I really want
Like
to
Made in Manhattan,
but it
but
just wasn't available.
Making Manhattan.
That's
Oh,
correct.
that you were gonna do Made in Manhattan.
I was.
Sorry,
But I was
didn't
like,
mean
I can't do that.
Bring up a sore spot.
No, it's okay.
So in addition to your show, you have your radio show. You have Making Manhattan, and that airs. So we were talking about this. You came to a show earlier in the season, and we were talking about this. So Making Manhattan is a show you host on like a New York City local channel on Spectrum Cable, right?
It's on M&N in Manhattan, and it's also on Brick TV in Brooklyn. So yeah.
So how did
Very
you
nice.
start that up? How did you get connected with them? How did you?
The best way is like, so after I had finished the programming, quote unquote, in Chicago, and I was like, I still want to learn more. Where else can I go? A friend of mine had also moved to New York not that long ago from Chicago, so we both just kind of like went to M&N, because she was like, oh, we can take classes there for free, and I was like, nothing is free. Like, there's no way. And then we went in, and when we went in and they told us that like the classes at that point in time were still free, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be here all the time. And they said the trade-off is you come in, you take classes, you learn everything, and you have to then give them content in return. So my overall goal is like,
You're like, great, I have lots of content I'd love to give.
Exactly. And my thing is like, I look at Nick Cannon, Ryan Seacrest, Terrence J, and I'm like, y'all not gonna be around forever. So somebody else gotta fill that spot one day.
Wait in the way.
Right, like Steve Harvey, like, hey bro, you can't do Family Feud forever. So somebody else has to do it. Who's gonna be that guy? So I was like, okay, well, let me start to do my own thing. I've got the radio show thing. Let me also have a thing where I can sit down and show and prove that I can have conversations.
Which is, I think we have some B-roll of that. So the whole concept is, so you interview up-and-comers in the biz. Do we have B-roll of that? There we go.
For sure. Yes, that guy right there is named Cameras Johnson.
Okay.
He's actually playing on the Batgirl show on CW right
One
now.
of our audience members just had a moment. Are you a camera fan?
He's friends with Chris? They went to school together? That's so crazy. So apparently he went to school with her boyfriend. That's
my gosh, that's so crazy! And you two are in an improv group together at the Magnet Theater. Shout out.
We do house party sketch comedy. We do sketch comedy shows all throughout the year. I believe our next one will be sometime in April.
Back up in March.
Back up. Yeah, we get all back together. We're taking our break right now, but we'll be back together in March, and our first show will be in April. So
what's the dream? What's the goal? I mean, it seems like you.
What are you gonna tweet about?
You also, what are you going to? What is your?
Immediately going
What's
to
your
do
vision
that.
tweet? What is your vision tweet? What's like the end game? Is it like the next
tweet.
Nick Cannon?
So it's like I'm basically like looking at that, but being like, can I take that to the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart levels of being like, I'm everywhere and you're gonna be annoyed of me and I'm gonna love it so much.
What is it that you like? I mean, is it, do you love hosting? Do you love acting, improvising, all of the above? Like, is there one particular thing that you feel sort of energizes you?
I would say
most?
it's kind of all of the above in a sense, but really just creating opportunities for other people to showcase their talents as well.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like I have the radio show so that if there's an artist that wants to come on and talk about why they love to do what they do, that's why I have that. If I can find somebody that's like either up and coming in the biz or very well established, or somebody that's just comfortable talking about their experience,
absolutely.
That's why I have Making Manhattan. I do like the sketch comedy because I love that, but at the same time, I also want to be able to write, hopefully create and produce one day a show as well where other people that are also talented in comedy can then showcase their abilities and just kind of create like platforms everywhere for if somebody hasn't gotten the opportunity yet, I want to be able to give them the opportunity.
Yes,
that's a very wonderful sentiment.
Thank you very much.
But also B, very Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, it is.
Now let's put this all together because he did that show. I can't remember what it was, but it was all about like putting like your own stuff together, and he like highlighted a bunch of different YouTubers and a bunch of different things.
I don't know anything about this. I gotta check this out.
And so it's not the same
press
thing.
record.
Yeah, press record.
Yeah,
yes,
something like that.
And so
I'm turning my own thing down.
it's a very similar giving energy.
It's a thing, yeah.
And so maybe it's all
right. It's all connected.
Yes.
I gotta figure this out.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I also love like talking to people about what they love. So I feel like we're on the same.
We are.
We're on the same wavelength.
We got
I'm
it.
so glad you could do this.
Thank you.
Melvin,
Of course.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Anytime.
If you guys are just tuning in, you missed the beginning of the show, come back next week. So we do this every week at 9 o'clock. And before we wrap up, tell everybody where they can stalk you and watch your projects.
Definitely go subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is my name, Melvin Taylor II. Also, that is my website, melvintaylorii.com. And that's my name on Instagram. Somebody took Melvin Taylor Jr., but so I was like, all right, well, I'll just be the second, and the eyes look like the Roman numerals are kind of cool. So
I
that's
love
what I'm
that.
gonna do.
That's
so,
more fun and interesting anyway. So, and then if you're in Atlanta,
go to the Fountain Games. Watch me on the big screen. Like, watch me on the Jumbotron, bro. Make it happen.
Well, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you to all of our audience. Thank you to Will, Tom Frog Camera, Phil. All right, you guys, this is where you don't have to go home, but you can stay here. We are actually going to be dark next week because I have to do my job at Viacom CBS.
Where will I go?
And DJ Dark Demon, you'll come with me on that shoot because you live in my subconscious. My subconscious.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
and so, you guys, we will be off on the 5th, but back on the 12th for a very special Valentine's Day episode. And we're actually going to play the dating game and matchmake one of my friends with 3 eligible bachelors.
Oh my God.
So we'll see you guys on the 12th. Until then, stay delightful. Go Steelers! Go Steelers!
Ravens all day. Ravens all day.